Later today, Oregon lawmakers will gather at the Capitol for the first day of the legislative session. And among the big priorities are housing, homelessness, and drugs. Devon Haskins is live in Salem for us this morning with a preview. Morning, Devon.
Yeah, good morning. So the clock starts here on the short session in just under 2 hours. And in those 35 days of this year's short session, lawmakers will introduce bills, and those will get decided on whether or not they pass or they get voted down. Last week, Governor Kotek and lawmakers spoke with reporters and laid out their plans for this upcoming session. Governor Tina Kotek has one goal: more housing.
We have a critical shortage of housing supply across the state, and that is why, as I've been saying, my number one focus for the legislative session is to put as much as possible into the effort to improve housing production.
In her sole bill going forward this session, she's asking for $500 million from existing state resources for a variety of housing projects. The bill would also allow cities to adjust their urban growth boundaries under certain conditions.
Oregonians know the status quo is not working on housing production.
House leaders agree.
We are committed to getting production up. We have to, but there has to be conversations when it comes to land use.
Another big topic: drugs, and the impacts of the voter-approved Measure 110, which decriminalized them.
We want to see a significant fix to ballot Measure 110.
The two sides have a different view of what needs to happen. Democrats want to make it a low-level misdemeanor, a Class C, whereas Republicans want to make it a Class A misdemeanor, the highest level.
I want to see the penalties raised for drug deaths from drug dealers and making that connection, because I think it's there.
Governor Kotek was asked about it and sidestepped a question about whether she'd sign a bill that recriminalized drugs.
I want to make sure that all parts of the bill make sense and we're actually going to have outcomes. The issue of addiction and the need for pathways to recovery should not be a political football.
And a big focus will be looking at how Republican senators react during this year's session. Because of the voter-approved Measure 113, a 6-week-long Republican walkout last year made 10 Republican senators ineligible for re-election after their term expired because they had 10 unexcused absences. On Thursday, it was upheld by the Oregon Supreme Court.
And they barred 10 Republicans from running for office this cycle and next. It's about half and half. So we will continue to serve and do the best we can under the limitations that have been provided.
Will you appeal this?
I will personally not be appealing this particular decision.
So during last week's meeting with reporters, I asked Senator Tim Knopp if Republicans plan on walking out this session. He said nothing's off the table, they just want to be heard. The short session ends Sunday, March 10th.